Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to X Marks the Box, an Xbox podcast. My name is Potato Chief, and I'm here with my good friend Alice. How are you, Alice?
Hi. It's cooler than yesterday, but it's still scorching hot. Because have you heard of a heat wave that's hit 40 degrees?
Yeah, I didn't really notice my entire body melting and my existence being pure agony for the last week. It was the hottest day in UK history, I believe, yesterday.
It just feels like you're a marshmallow above the fire.
Yeah, we're in Satan's bum. It's very warm. It's warm, very warm. I don't like it. It's too hot. I'm melting. It's been horrible. It's been absolutely horrific. So if you hear like loud humming in the background, those are my multiple fans. I've tried to make it so they shouldn't be picked up on audio, but they seem to always somehow get picked up, which is really annoying. Just one of those things.
How many fans you got on?
2. I just got 2. I got but they're 2 big ones. They're like, I sent you the picture. It makes my PS5 look small by comparison, which is hilarious because the PS5 is giant, so it's like double the size of my PS5. So
I got like one medium-sized fan that's by the mains.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like flushing air to me. Plus, I got a sea breeze that comes from the window,
Ooh,
so it just makes it like much nicer. Plus, it offers like better lighting than like last week because you can see. I'm in the mum's study.
All right.
So, but it was the bedroom I used to sleep in. So just a wallpaper and possibly a sticker. So.
All right. Okay. I mean, if you got sea air, you say, so we might hear seagulls randomly or people talking and eating chips or whatever, right?
I'm further away from them, actually.
Okay, that's good.
So you won't hear so much. But you may hear occasional bike rides. Because there's the bikers and the cars that has got rid of their exhaust so they can rev so loud that they just hit your eardrums. And yeah, sadly, I'm quite close to that kind of.
I hate this.
But the thing is, it just makes you wish you had a studio that has air conditioning and there's no noise and whatsoever.
I mean, the whole country comes to a standstill when it's this hot, and it also comes to a standstill when it's snowing as well. We can't handle extreme weather conditions in this country. It's just one of those things, I guess.
Better to go cold than to be hot.
I prefer the cold than the hot, to be honest. I would agree with that because you can always put there's only so much you can do to cool off. Whereas when it's cold, you can just put layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. You just bury yourself in layers and you'll be fine. Whereas hot, there's only so much you can do.
I think that's the problem because it looks like you put too many layers on at the moment.
Yeah. So today's episode is episode 10. Oh my god, a milestone, I think, right? Is 10 episodes a milestone? Yep. I would say that's a milestone. I mean, technically it's our 11th episode, but we're going to say it's our 10th because,
And yet you only gone as far as having the podcast and the Twitter. And they did said we can have a separate YouTube brand channel, but that's still in the talks.
We're not really sure what to do with that yet. If you guys let me know in the comment what you guys think. We're torn. I kind of want to keep it all in one thing because I have a YouTube channel that's took me 10 years to get to 4,000 subscribers. Didn't really want to start from scratch again with a new channel, and also I feel like it gives the podcast a bit of publicity. But then a lot of you guys are wrestling fans and maybe not interested in the podcast, so I don't know. But then the people who were not interested in the podcast won't be here to hear this conversation. So yeah.
But then at least it doesn't have the Naruto fan dubs, because that's not on your channel.
No, that's on another channel that we will not speak of. This podcast.
Nope. Good luck trying to find that, folks.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the thing that I did before this current YouTube. Also, I thought that was interesting. I just found out Game Grumps has just turned 10, so I've been doing Let's Plays longer than Game Grumps, which is hilarious because they completely demolished my they completely started after me and then they took over me, and that's crazy to think that I got absolutely nowhere with Let's Plays, so that's fun.
Well, I think out of those 10 years that I remember, like, there's Aaron who's got, like, Dan, and these, like, been, like, together ever since, like, for a long time. And yet my fondest memories is that Sonic 2006 with JonTron instead, so that's how I remember the show so much from, and not, like, any other video series they do. I mean, I just got off it recently, so it was just not as special as it was before.
Well, JonTron was only on the show for less than a year, which everyone like kind of gets shocked when you think that. You go over 10 years, and JonTron was barely there for a year. So, and I like Danny. I like Dan Abbott. He seems like a nice guy. I like him. So
yeah, I think they made some like good moments. Also, I enjoy the Monopoly one, the Pokemon Art Academy with the Rubber Ross. Is it?
Yeah, Rubber Ross. Ross is, and he makes evil levels on Super Mario Maker as well. We kind of got off tangent here. We weren't even talking about the podcast. We're like 6 minutes in. We already got onto the subjects of the podcast. But yeah, we love Game Grumps. I'm jealous that they're so popular. They've been doing it for 10 years. I would love to have been doing Let's Plays for 10 years and made a success of it. But there you go. It's one of those things. So, what have you been playing this week, Alice?
Well, basically, you'll be pleased to know that I moved on from Minecraft.
What? The shock.
Instead, I moved towards my new next addictive game, and that is Power Wash Simulator.
Oh my god, yes, that looks so good. I haven't gone around to playing that yet.
You should try it out. It's definitely one of the most addictive games ever because, like, if I were to compare this with House Flipper, you just go in, like, really innovate the house, you break down walls, but you also, like, paint and decorate the walls too, and I think it's just turning into a bit of a chore.
Yeah.
Also, it's not, say, optimized for the Xbox Series X, but when you play a Power Wash Simulator, 60 frames per second, simple. All you have to do is, like, wash the dirt off, and it's, like, so good, so addictive. I even, like, stayed up until, like, 4 a.m. in the morning once playing this.
Mad. I love it.
Yeah, I just like being into like different jobs. Like you do the fans, then you end up like trying to clean the mayor's house, the fairground, all those bits.
Wow.
Like I spent like so many hours into the game, and I have yet to complete the rest of the levels there. But I have to take a break because Omno, whoever that is leaving Game Pass.
All right.
One of the easy completions, and I think. Since it's been announced recently, it should take about 2 weeks for it to leave, but it should take about between 2 to 4 hours to like fully complete the game for easy 1,000 game score.
Well, so
and then there's I
need to do that one then. That should be top of my list. Because as you can see by my background, I've been playing Peppa Pig, or my friend Peppa Pig to be precise. The ultimate game of the year contender, the only game better than Elden Ring. No, it's not even close. But I had fun with it for what it was.
Have you been playing with your nephew or niece or
not? No. When I go visit Australia, I'll probably play it with my nephews. But no, I just played it myself. It took me about half hour to get 1,000 gamer score. It's not bad for 1,000 gamer score, to be honest.
So how does that work? Do you just like go in and just like do specific things in the game? Or is it like you just play the game?
So you just play the game, right? You have to do specific things in the game to get certain achievements. So you make your own character, and then you and then it's just like, hello, this is my Peppa Pig's like, this is my friend, and like, cool. So I'm friends with Peppa Pig, and then you got to go into, and then it's like certain things happen, but there's RNG. There's actually RNG in this game, which makes it really very frustrating. You walk into a room and it's like either Peppa Pig's dad's glasses are missing or his brother's lost his dinosaur, and you have to find that, and then you get an achievement for doing that, and then you got to get an achievement for doing the other version of that. And there's like loads of bits where you got to travel on the road, and there might be roadworks and stuff like that. So it's like RNG all over the place. It's a speedrunner's nightmare. You're not like to get the optimum run. You got to be very lucky. It took me about half an hour. I wasn't really paying attention to it. That's what people like when I recommend it to people on Easy Gamer School. They're like, "Oh, can't stand the voice acting and all that." So I'm like, I didn't really watch it. I just had it on in the background while I was doing other things and just went through it.
Is it because of her accents?
Yeah, well, Peppa Pig's got like I didn't realize it until after I played it, but Peppa Pig is essentially the voice of any toddler or like a 4 or 5 year old. She just sounds like a 4 or 5 year old. Like, I want to go on adventure. I want to do this. I'm like, okay, Peppa Pig, I don't care. But, you know, Thousand Gamer Score, I'm right there for it. Easiest gamer score ever. It's brilliant. It's fun. Go on, sorry.
If you ask, yeah, is your niece and nephew like in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're like upside down.
Yeah, the upside down.
Because if you ask me, I spent some time with my niece and nephew, and we just been watching Paw Patrol, Bluey, and some Peppa Pig, as well as like Doggy or some sort.
Yeah, that's what my nephew's obsessed with.
Get it.
Same as my nephew.
Yeah, that's why.
Bluey is like the Australian equivalent of Peppa Pig. That's so yeah. That's.
I didn't realise that's Australian.
Yeah, well, they're obsessed with it in Australia. My nephews are obsessed with Bluey. Yeah, it's quite funny.
Because when I was a kid, like my mum gets me to watch Neighbours when I was like a toddler.
Australia is great. Do you know there's an episode of Peppa Pig that's banned in Australia?
What's that?
Is it
eating bacon?
No, the episode is, I can't remember the name of the episode, but apparently they make friends with a spider, and it's like, don't worry, spiders can't hurt you. It's like, it's been banned in Australia because it's like, no, don't teach kids to be friends with spiders over here. That's a bad idea. So they banned that episode completely, hilariously.
One of my co-workers is terrified of spiders because of their visit in Australia.
Oh. I've been to Australia. I haven't seen any big spiders yet, but I will let you know if I see any.
Have you played the game Biohazard Battle on the Mega Drive?
I've not.
because it has like massive bugs and big creatures there, but this shows the environment is hostile. And this is what like reminds me when it comes to Australia or anywhere else where it's got like dangerous bugs and animals in.
Yeah. Speaking of bugs. Bethesda, I couldn't think of a good segue. Big bugs,
bears, tigers.
Ooh.
Oh my!
I mean, so with what we've been playing, I think it kind of ties into the first news story of the day. What we've been playing as well. I put it down as Xbox releases everything everywhere all at once. Xbox has this really weird habit of releasing nothing for like 3 or 4 months, and you can leave us in like the wastelands and like water, we need water, and then literally just going, here you go, here's 3 bottles of water at the same time. Like, because it got As Dusk Falls, Forza DLC, and new like Halo co-op and Halo multiplayer event all came out at literally the same. It was 6 p.m. GMT yesterday when we were recording. Literally the exact same time all 3 of these things dropped. It's like, why can't you spread these out over a couple of weeks? Why are you releasing all at the same time? I don't understand, Xbox. It's a weird habit of theirs.
Well, don't forget that there's also Halo Alpha Pack that comes out too.
No, that's what I meant by the event. That's what I meant by the multiplayer event, the Alpha Pack, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because I went to Halo Infinite, and there's an Alpha Pack, which is basically it's like the first narrative event, except you get 10 rewards, and all you have to do is play the last Spartan standing.
Yeah.
It's much better last time because you get to play on different maps instead of a breaker map, but you get different weapons. Like instead of like pistol, disruptor, and a mangler, instead you get like a sap gun, a assault rifle, magnum, commando, battle rifle, and I think at one point someone may have got a energy sword for getting too many points. But apart from that, it's just like, yeah, it's all right.
And they fixed
but I think
they finally fixed the glitch as well, where when you used to play last Spartan Standing, if you left the game after dying, you wouldn't get any progress. They finally fixed that glitch now, so you can still get progress even if you leave. So.
Well, I did try that once. Like, as soon as I lost the lives, I don't know if I should have waited a bit longer.
Yeah.
But I left the game and I didn't get the progress. So
yeah.
I don't know if you tried it. So you need to let me know if it
No,
works for
it
you.
works now. It didn't used to. The first, like when they first started last Spartan Standing, it was a famous glitch. It was like an infamous glitch they had for a while that your progress wouldn't continue unless you stayed in the game till after you. Like I die. I usually just die and then just leave it on in the background and go on my computer for 10 minutes while I wait for the game to finish. It's really annoying.
Well, that's what I've been doing too, because when the first time I did that and they did so badly that I didn't get any points from it, I just like, as soon as I lost the lives, I paused the game, left the game, and that was like last night. And then I didn't get any progress.
Oh, right, okay. I've been having progress since I started doing it this week. Since this event, have had no issues with it. Previous events I did, but this event.
Right.
So maybe
then I will probably have another look.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So yeah, we had.
But there's another like weird thing with it is, like, when I started the challenges, there's a century pose, and as a ultimate weekly reward, and that's what we got first. So I just like, I just do the challenges. There's Mangler challenges, since there's not any in like last Spartan Standing. I used 2 challenge swaps to swap them out and keep trying it, take a break for the night. Then when I returned, all the challenges refreshed, and there's like the new weekly award, which is the Clippy and the military hat.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
So I had to go through the challenges again. So I just wasted like 2 challenge swaps for that, and now I have to go through it again. But then, as I complete the last Spartan Standing challenges, it gave me 2 awards instead of 1 for each challenge. And it's like, is this like what's happening to me? Because at the moment, I only beaten a few challenges with that challenges thing. And I got as far as like level 8. So it's not long until I get a fire gunmetal skin and the tactical pad thing. So yeah. So I think really the 343 Industries have messed up on their part.
Need to get that fixed. Yeah. Have we got an episode without slagging the 343 off? I think we haven't. I think we haven't. There's a record of 11 episodes in a row we've mentioned 343 being broken. Fix your game, god damn it! I love you, but
well, there's like people saying like thinking, oh, the game's not gonna work, and feeling that once they deal with the co-op and possibly Battle Royale, they reckon they would like leave Halo Infinite and leave it as complete.
Right.
But I just like to keep hoping as if like they got more content for it.
Yeah.
But they still like get more content for Master Chief Collection. And recently they got like new armors for it, including the mecha suits and the demon suits, and I'm like, why not they just like put it in Halo Infinite?
I don't get it.
It just shows like how disorganized and how terrible that 343 eyes like doing in the Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
So with the low player place, this is not looking particularly positive.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft would switch to a different developer like Certain Affinity for the future Halo titles.
Yeah, it's weird to me that Halo is the biggest IP that Xbox owns, and it's like the biggest multiplayer, and yet it doesn't seem to get supported as much as stuff like Apex or Fortnite or any of these games. Kind of just completely run circles around it when it comes to support. It's weird to me that they have, like, Xbox should be, if any company in the world should be able to have a live service game that can keep going, it should be Microsoft, right? It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's so difficult for them. It's it's a weird one.
Well, speaking of which, like Fortnite, I saw the image and it looks like they're gonna be throwing Goku into Fortnite as a rumored item.
All right.
I mean, they did Naruto in the past, so yeah.
Jump the shark.
And there's also Paladins with a Ruby crossover pass, and there's like Nickelodeon characters for Smite.
Yeah.
So, and now it's just like Halo Infinite doesn't have anything exciting.
No.
Like if you go to the shop this week, you see the return of the flaming arms and some armor set that you've seen at the start of the event.
Yeah.
And then you have like a skull face helmet, and there's also the rust coating for the mongooses. So just like, I don't think this is looking very positive.
No.
Because I was literally thinking there's a gold Helicon Days armor coming out this week, and then instead it's like repeats. So, I mean, this is like turning a bit of a dog shit show.
It's a shame because the multiplayer is so much fun. It's really fun to play. It's just a shame that the everything surrounding it, it's a bit barren. Yeah. So also this week, I've been playing last night, Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels. Insanely cool. Love it. It's really fun. It's ridiculous. Like giant Hot Wheels tracks, like life size. And you got real humans walking around and stuff, so it just looks really weird. And like you're going through mountains and volcanoes. And yeah, I mean, it's Forza Horizon 5 with even more crazy stunt stuff. So it's great fun. I don't really know much more that I can say. It's just fast, fun racing on Hot Wheels tracks through mountains and over lava and stuff like that. It's wacky and weird, but a lot of fun, and I think worth playing. Probably the best Xbox thing that I played this year so far. It's probably the best thing that Xbox is going to release this year at this rate. Tongue-tied. So have you been playing As Dusk Falls? Because I haven't got around to it yet.
I played the first chapter last night.
Yeah.
Like, I was like in the middle of things, and it's like, I gotta get tea. So I got like curry, over chips, with some poppadoms, put on the tray, and I just picked up with the game to watch with it, expecting it's just only like doing the button presses.
Yeah.
And once that boots up, you have to use a thumbstick to go around with the cursor on the screen. And it's like, this game is made for PC.
That's annoying. I didn't realise that.
What's worse is that, like, I know this Heavy Rain, it's come from the developer who did Heavy Rain. And it was unique because you only need to use sticks to go around, and you only press the face buttons to make choices. But in Dusk Falls, it's like, you move the cursor to make selections. Like, if there's choices in the screen, you have to move the cursor around to click on them, and you have to do it within the time. And I think, oh gosh, this is just annoying. The quick time events where you like press buttons and stuff like that, that's easier.
Yeah.
Like, it was a bit tricky, but I just like got through some of the outcomes, and I just like got through to chapter 1. And it tells me like how I did the playstyle, where I make instantaneous decisions and going like really bold, and then it tells me like which choices I made and the percentage of those who made that choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you don't mind if I like spoil bits of like chapter 1, because if you're ready for it.
I mean, I was going to play it tonight. So try not to go too spoilery if you can.
Okay, because when I started off, like, they were just going on a trip, and there was a car coming through, which they almost had a crash.
Right.
Then they just like went into like different perspectives. One is where you have to weigh the house, and you just like go up, and then you just like deal with some things there. I don't want to explain too much, but there was one of the jocks there, and it's like being a dick. Like, you rob a house, and then he goes like pissing in the Fanta bottle, or like being an absolute dick and just make fun of what's inside the house. Then when you go upstairs and like you found the safe, that you're then expected to enter the exact code. Luckily, I was like remembered the codes, so I did unlock the safe in like 2 attempts. I got an achievement. I thought, yeah, special. But it's particularly obvious because when you like step at the truck, the numbers flashed in like right in front of your eyes. And I was like, oh gosh, I probably couldn't be remembering this. And then when I just came to the save it, gotta enter the code. So you have to remember what you see on that piece of paper there. So I just put those numbers in, and just unlocked the safe, got some money, boom.
Easy enough.
However, there's like there's also a different perspective where you have this guy who comes in, and like you just go through those things and like making choices. But when I just like say, I just couldn't like pay for this room, I got 52 on me, and and I was told to like say, oh, I just need to like check out the to deal with it. And then I selected options to say talk to the manager, and then she said to me, "It's like, what's wrong? You have a problem with people with vaginas and stuff like that?" I thought, what? That's sexism.
So random.
Anyways, but yeah, it just gets a bit more random. Like,
sounds like heavy.
I don't want to go into specific.
I mean, the writing you've just said sounds very Heavy Rain, Detroit kind of feel to it. Like it's like sometimes it's like, oh, this is really deep and really well written, and other times it's like, well, that was random and a bit weird. Why was that there? Like it's like you used to get that a lot with those type of games as well. I'm excited to play it though. I'm still looking forward to playing it. I'm going to be playing it tonight, hopefully. But basically, go on.
Yeah, so I like to also add, like, I played Heavy Rain in the past.
Yeah.
I remember playing the demo of it when I was at the Eurogamer Expo, and then when I played it, it's like, oh, it's a glitch fest, and it's like really annoying. But I just got through the story. You make choices, and you definitely get the outcomes you get.
Yeah.
And the way I see it is like it tries to intimate like what The Walking Dead, and it's like it tells you like which outcomes you do, so the user interface is much better. Except for this whole point and click stuff, that's really annoying. So what I'm getting at the moment with this one, it's just like they expect to like it's based on Breaking Bad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just like, it's not. It's just like not so funny, and you just like get thrown into situations and feel like, oh, there's a robbery, and then you do some like extreme decisions, and it just reminds me of the scene in Heavy Rain where you step into the convenience shop trying to find clues. Then when someone like goes in and pulls out their trick gun, you just have to go through the store. Like you try to make sure you press the buttons to make sure you don't like interfere with the items. But then when you get to confront the robber, you just make choices to calm the robber, and then you just try to either deal with this guy or you get shot. So this is exactly the kind of feeling I get with this game. So the way I feel it, it's like it's Heavy Rain, except it's all sunshine and sand.
Yeah. Fair enough. Instead of Heavy Rain, it's sunny desert. Well, it's one of those. It's like I've been watching reviews and stuff of it. They keep saying it's good to play with people like co-op. So basically, you seem to have frozen, Alice. Okay.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah. So with like you were saying in Breaking Bad and stuff, like that type of television, I always end up watching with my mum. So like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Halo TV series. Ooh, that was fun. Basically Obi-Wan, stuff like that. All the big TV shows I end up watching usually with my mum. So I'm going to see if she wants to play the game and see if we can co-op it. I think it might be an interesting experience, so I'm going to try and get that done. Do you think...
Well,
it's alright.
Yeah, it just reminds me that I seen Breaking Bad the second time, but I'm slowly going through Better Call Saul as a rewatch, just to get me to prepare for the final 4 episodes coming for Better Call Saul, which is like now it's just like goes through all the main stuff, and it's just already going towards the end. So I don't know if you've seen the Better Call Saul stuff.
I haven't seen Better Call Saul. I want to get around to watching Better Call Saul, but I haven't got. I watched Breaking Bad, but I never watched Better Call Saul. On my list though.
Then you better have some fun, like trying to catch up with it, because there's like about 6 seasons of this, which is almost the same amount of episodes as Breaking Bad.
That's fair enough. Yeah. So, do you think you're going to finish As Dusk Falls, or you've? Because you didn't seem to have a very positive experience with it by the sound of things.
Well, there's a spoiler cast next week, so I'm like trying to complete the 6 chapters.
That's the idea,
But the fact is, like, so many outcomes and so many paths to choose. I think it's just like tries to aim for replay value.
Yeah.
But then it's just like equivalent of like trying to get all the achievements in like Heavy Rain. Yeah. So I think it is a similar kind of experience. Then I was like thinking it's all already like a 2D game. Yeah. then I saw like there's 3D stuff on the screen of like vehicles moving and stuff like that, and I thought, oh gosh, this game's got to be bug riddled. Also, speaking of bugs, there was one scene where there's two characters talking, and then the camera points to the seam of a character. Like, you can see the cut that's above the person's waist, and it's like, oh, that's a bit of a bug there too. So it's like,
yeah, but I mean, I'm hoping that so you've alluded to next week we were planning to do a spoiler cast for this game. So hopefully next week we'll have an As Dusk Falls spoiler cast for you. Try and get around to playing if you can, if you want to like tag along and get involved. I think it should be fun because hopefully we'll have different outcomes and we can like go, wait, this person died in your one and didn't die in my one? Oh, wacky. All this stuff, or like this didn't happen in my one and this happened in my one, you know. So I'm hoping that's what we're going to get. Not, oh yeah, that's exactly what happened to me as well. Like, I'm hoping that's not what's going to happen. And we're like, yeah, I find it boring. Yeah. I'm hoping it's
well,
going to be
get your mum to remind you to like complete all the chapters for next week then.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we were starting tonight, hopefully. We were meant to start it last night, but it was too hot and we just didn't feel up to it. So hopefully watch it tonight. So fingers crossed. Yeah, it should be fun. It should be a fun thing to play. So I'll let you know how it goes next week when we hopefully have a spoiler cast. So was there anything else that we've been playing this week, or are we going to just move on to the second news story?
I think I've forgotten some of the other titles I played, which is only for like 10 minutes. So yeah, we can just like move on.
So the big news, one of the big news stories this week is that Bungie is now officially a part of Sony. What a weird that's the weirdest sentence ever, right? It's such a weird thing to think, right? Am I crazy here, or I mean, what do you think about this?
I'm not too fussed about it because, like, Bungie's like working for Sony, and now it's like Bungie's part of the Sony family, and I think it's supposed to be a dig at Microsoft. Yeah. But then again, Bungie left Microsoft. They tried to be independent, and now they're just all part of Sony. That makes sense to me. I think to be honest, it's a bit weird. But then again, Destiny didn't really fly off, and then people have just flocked back to it and been playing a lot of Destiny 2, and I've been seeing like people's player customizations and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, I think they will just end up like one of those developers for like, you know, the things like Free Radical or like Factor 5, where they did games for the PlayStation 3, and then somehow the developers like didn't get on too well, and somehow like either downsized or get cancelled. So
yeah,
I feel that Bungie might actually suffer that same fate.
I hope not. I mean, with Bungie, I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi at the end of like Revenge of the Sith. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you were the chosen one! You were meant to destroy Sony, not join them! Bring sales to Xbox, not leave them in darkness! I hate you! You were my favorite developer, Bungie. I loved you. That's how I felt.
And then they just burn up in a fire, and then Bungie comes into like molten lava with Master Chief coming over. So he's like, "Oh, you should have stayed."
Let him burn.
And then the Katana be like, I think to be honest, that Bungie would have done well as an independent maker. So
don't make me destroy you. Only Sith steal in absolutes. I could do Star Wars all day, but no, just literally like that's how. As comical and over the top that reaction is, like, you know, you were the chosen one. That is literally how I kind of felt when I first heard the news. But saying that, we were just having this. You were just saying this a minute ago about how it's not that big a deal. It's like, it's weird that Sony owns the people who made Halo, but soon Xbox will own the people will own Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and Tony Hawk. So, you know, turnabout's fair play, innit? Like, the Sony mascots are now on Xbox, and the people who made the best Xbox game are now on Sony's payroll. It's weird, but, you know, turnabout's fair play, I suppose. I mean,
still waiting on how it turned out to be. Just knowing the movement at the moment, right?
There's a little, you know, the people keep saying it's moving quicker than expected, which is good. I'm hoping it gets done by the end of the year, so then I can get free Call of Duty and I don't have to pay for it. And same with Diablo 4. That's what I'm hoping. That's all I care about is getting free stuff on Game Pass. That's the only reason I want this acquisition done.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking, like, I was like daydreaming because I got maladaptive daydreaming, which I daydream for like 4 hours every day, like it's some kind of a job. So I just like pace up and down and like think about things. And then when you just mentioned about Darth Vader, it just reminds me of like, you know, there's a trend like the multiverse and everything. Yeah. I was thinking like, I just really hope Halo we're going into this whole multiverse thing where you have different timelines. Like there's a timeline where Halo 6 came out instead of Halo Infinite and deals with Cortana stuff. There's Halo Infinite timeline. And there's things like that. And then it's just been thinking about the Master Chief, who's like part of Banished and has like more wackety armor that's like painted red and black.
Interesting.
And it's like got a big red visor. And I was thinking, oh, this is a really cool to see a Banished Master Chief, like what they did with like, I think it was Negative Optimus Prime from the War for Cybertron.
Right.
I think they did like a Dark Optimus Prime that is like all black with a red visor. I was thinking about that for like Master Chief.
Right.
But speaking of which, like there's so many red coatings on like Halo Infinite that they thinking that 343i is like making stuff for the Banished.
The Banished are great though. Great baddies. I think if you want to give Infinite any like praise, I think the Banished are a good choice. Halo 5 kind of left us in a bad place, whereas they kind of retconned a little bit of it, and it kind of made sense. Essentially, it felt like there should have been a Halo 6 between 5 and Infinite. They basically skipped over a whole game's worth of plot progression with Cortana, really. But it kind of works.
I know I missed the Forerunner stuff. I was expecting to keep on coming, and instead they came back to Covenant, and this time they rebranded them as Banished. But I think these are like the enemy, or like say the enemies of like Halo Verse, instead of like trying to do an experimentation of Forerunner Prometheans or stuff like that, which is like in Halos 4 and 5. So
yeah,
anyway,
they're supposed to have the Endless. I mean, that's what they were teasing. Is the a new team called the Endless, a new faction. So I'm wondering what that's about, if we're ever going to see that. The DLC will probably come out in 2028 or something like that.
Well, so far, there's some good feedback on the co-op of that Halo Infinite. Yeah. So hopefully it should be good enough for us to play together and beat it on like Lasso Legendary.
Yeah, I haven't got around to playing it in Legendary yet, and I haven't played the co-op yet. I'm waiting for the beta to finish. I don't want to do the beta and then have to do it all again. I want to unlock all the achievements and stuff and do it properly in one go. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for it to be officially released.
That's why you got me as a blue personal assistant that's in the palm of your hand.
The weapon, or Cortana's. Yeah.
I did like a fan art of like Master Chief and Salem for Ruby.
Right.
Because Salem's like has the same voice actress as like Cortana.
All right, yeah. I think you mentioned that last week when we were talking about the TV show. Or was it the week before? I can't remember. So I mean, Bungie. Bye, Bungie. We'll miss you. You traitors.
Well, I hope they
you fucking Judas
back to Microsoft.
You fucking backstabbing Judases! How dare you! Stab me in the back.
Yeah, they'll probably just like do the bungee jump.
The bungee jump.
Go back up.
Yeah, Bungie jumped into like Sony's arms, didn't they? Like, you know, from being independent. I love how they were independence is important to us. We'll never be part of a big company again. And it's like, oh, Sony want to buy us? Okay, yeah, sure. It's like, okay, that was weird. So, should we move on to our topic of the show?
Yep.
We are going to do a little bit of time traveling.
Why I hope it doesn't get copyrighted for like having the beats to Back to the Future.
It's the power of love. Anyway, so
well, I mean,
Tony
in the ideal world, like today, you could have been like 2015 from Back to the Future Part 2, and then it didn't happen. It's just like more depressing than ever.
Yeah.
And now we're just getting close to recession. Plus, 40 degrees of heat outside. I mean, what the hell?
I mean, I'm on Mustafar at the moment, which is the lava planet on in Star Wars, and that's about as hot as it is in the UK at the moment. It's very hot. It's just molten lava going down the streets of Cardiff, where I live.
It's like being the equivalent of potato chips left in a deep fat fryer.
Oh yeah, delicious.
Cooking the potatoes. Triple cooked? Well, I mean, that's happened over like 3 years.
So we're doing a bit of a time travel, because this is episode 10 of the podcast. We're doing a time travel episode where we're going 10 years into the past and 10 years into the future. Ooh.
Let's do the time.
I'm trying to think of more time machine references. I can't think of any. So we're back in the year 2012. I'm in the 2012 Xbox user interface, so that looks fun. Alice can't see it, but it looks cool. It looks cool.
That's because our technology is like so backwards that we don't have so much of the stuff there. Because back in 2012, I don't know if I still have a Mac. Oh yeah, I bought a MacBook Air.
Yeah.
That's like low spec, and the computer's like low spec too.
Yeah.
Like I haven't like replaced it, but then it's like I got an AverMedia HD, which I still have.
Yeah.
But I used it to like record footage and put it on YouTube just to do tests. And yeah, I just like got some like opinions on it. But I used it to like do rapping sound comparisons between Halo's 4 and Reach.
Yeah.
And it got like thousands of views. And I thought, that's cool. But now I'm just like, today I'm just like going to be, well, not today because we're in 2012.
We're trying to get. Yeah, we're not in 2022. We're in 2012. We've gone back in time.
It's better anyway because it's better to like deal with the threat of the world ending at the end of 2012, which is just some
Mayan stuff,
myths.
Yeah, that was a good time.
And then there's like 2022, where there's a threat of a new PM. There's increased heat and likely to have a recession.
Oh, yeah.
So it's actually like a literal end of the world there.
Yay! We're all gonna die. Okay, so in 2012, the birth of Potato Chief. This channel was born in 2012, so that's an interesting statistic right there.
Shoot him! Shoot him while you can!
And I think there's this thing called Game Grumps that's going to be coming out soon. I'm just going to... or it's just come out yesterday or the day before. I think it's going to be a phenomenon. That JonTron guy, I'm sure he's going to stay around. Call back to...
I don't really remember anything else outside of games. Like, what about the anime and stuff like that? I don't know.
I have no idea.
But I do know there's a TV show called the Matt Lucas Awards.
Oh, that was a weird show. I remember that show.
Yeah.
So I have a big list of games that came out in 2012. 2012 was a banging year. It was so good. I have a massive... Do you want me to read the list off? Because it's going to take me a while.
Yeah, I got the list of my own too.
Oh, nice. Okay, so shall I read mine out and see if there's any I missed and you can tell me? So,
yeah.
Okay, so it's Borderlands 2, Telltale's The Walking Dead, Dishonored, Halo 4, Far Cry 3, Forza Horizon 1, XCOM, Mass Effect 3, Fez, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Street Fighter X Tekken, Trials Evolution, Darksiders 2, Counter-Strike Go, Kings of Amalur Reckoning, Diablo 3, Max Payne 3, Journey, Mark of the Ninja, Assassin's Creed 3, Faster Than Light FTL, Hotline Miami, Gravity Rush, Hitman Absolution, World of Warcraft Mr. Pandaria, Sleeping Dogs, The Unfinished Swan, Persona 4, Dragon's Dogma, Spec Ops The Line, and New Super Mario Bros. U. So
that's quite a lot, actually.
It's a big year. I mean, looking at that, I'm like, damn. Some of these games are like bona fide classics now. I'm like, what a year. Going through my old videos, and I did have a game of the year for that year. So, do you want to guess out of that list what was my game of the year for 2012?
I'm guessing it's not like Halo 4, is it?
No. It's not, no.
Because I think you just went through the list so much that I was just thinking, like, I don't know about, like, the Assassin's Creed 3 or the Witcher 2.
Nope.
Or
Witcher 2, I didn't see that. Was that out as well? Oh, wow.
Because you did, like, Let's Play vids on, like, Borderlands 2, and I was expecting, like, the mapper impression on that.
Oh, yeah.
Far Cry 3.
I'm Nappa. I'm Nappa. That's how I started out.
God damn it, Vegeta. Sorry, the mapper.
No, it's a
God damn it, Alice.
There's a long list of games that came out that year. So no, it wasn't Halo, wasn't Far Cry, wasn't Borderlands, wasn't Forza. It was something a bit smaller. Maybe that's a bit of a clue.
Minecraft?
No, Minecraft didn't come out in 2012. It was out in 2000.
Trials Evolution.
That's a good game, but no. Well, we were just talking about As Dusk Falls. That is something very similar to that.
Oh. So it's not like Beyond Good and Evil HD, is it?
No.
You said something smaller than that. It's not Quantum Conundrum, is it?
No. Do you want me just to tell you?
Bastion.
Do you want me just to tell you? You don't seem to be on. Do you want me to just tell you?
Yeah.
Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1 was my game of the year 2012.
Oh, yeah, it is. I was like, I'm not completely aware of that.
Yeah.
But I think back then, it was like, I haven't really played it
on
that year because I was going through the list on, like, my Xbox.
Yeah.
It's possible I may have, like, played it on the PlayStation 3, which I started.
Yeah.
Like, I got it on the PC, and then I just, like, played it on PlayStation 3, and then I played it again on, like, Xbox One.
Yeah. So it's an easy platinum or an easy 1,000 gamer score as well. So if you guys, I would recommend Season 1. Season 2 and 3, I'm not bothered really. I wasn't that first. Season 1 had me crying like a baby at the end of it. I'm like, no.
You should have done the Let's Play on it.
I know.
Because I haven't really seen that.
I'm surprised I didn't actually. The amount of Let's Plays I was doing back in the day. Yeah, I really enjoyed The Walking Dead. That was a lot of fun. I put on my notes, is it still Game of the Year? Like, looking at that list, would I still give that Game of the Year? Looking at the list, so Mass Effect 3 maybe, Borderlands 2, Dishonored's a good game. Some really good games on this list. But I think I would. Yeah. I think I still would give it to Walking Dead because it was it's probably my favorite story-based game ever. And it kind of got me prepared for The Last of Us, which came out the year afterwards. Which I like part 1, hate part 2. before anyone goes, you don't like Last of Us? Well, I like the first one, but
well, I mean, The Walking Dead, like, it just involves Kenny, and you have to try to please him to get him to join your team. Like, it was particularly difficult. Ugh. But then it just looks like that Mr. Biggins from Adventure Island games on the NES.
The thing with The Walking Dead is it have branching stories like what the As Dusk Falls has, but all the stories end up going back to the same bit anyway. It all pretty much ended exactly the same way for everybody. So it was like, okay. So your decisions don't really have weight. You just have the illusion of choice instead of actual choice. That's probably the only negative I'd really say about the original The Walking Dead. The art style was good. It hasn't really held up that well, but the choices were fun. The story was really intriguing. I really enjoyed it back in the day. Yeah, and that was when I was in university as well. So I just started uni. So I was a bit more hipstery. Indie games are the best, man. Screw mainstream AAA. Yeah. AAA games suck. We gotta go indie all the way.
Now, you haven't heard through my list, and there's a little bit more detail.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I apologize. your list?
Last year I got like Microsoft Kinect that came out for the Xbox 360.
Oh my god!
What happened to that now? Where's Kinect? There was one with Xbox One, and then it's gone.
Yeah, thank God. I
just got the Xbox One. Yeah, I got the Xbox One once, and it's like got a Kinect plug. They expected you to use it when it would launch, but now they just got rid of it completely. So it's now like beggars. Even like Xbox One X doesn't have any ports for it anymore. So
thank God.
But yeah, I know it's not like in 2012. But I started with Kinect Adventures, which I played little. I played through Ninja Kinect, which is my opinion is like the best game. You just like wave your arms so much to chop up fruit, and it was fun for the time. But apart from that, it's just like a gimmick, to be honest.
Yeah,
but I did get like Rayman Origins, and like I just like got 1000, especially beating that like really hard levels. So it's alright, but then I'm just like got off the whole franchise. So
Rayman Origins was great. Was that 2012? That was a good game. That was. I think it probably would be because the Wii U came out that year. Because New Super Mario Bros. U was on my list, so I'm assuming it was the Wii U launch title. So yeah, that's a great game. Yeah.
There's also like Beyond Good and Evil HD, which I think it came out in 2012, and it was like funny the time where I got in and played like one of the biggest games on like the PlayStation 2 back in 2003.
Yeah.
And now you can get in HD, so it's good, but it's just like worth your time when it's just like some platforming and doing some stealth. But I think it's like particularly aged.
Yeah.
But it's still like a really impressive game from that Rayman developer. So I think they were saying about like doing Beyond Good and Evil 2, so it's not like around anymore. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're still working on it. Instead, they were just like doing Rabbids, and now they got Rabbids crossing over with Mario with the second sequel. And I'm like, what is this developer up to?
The original Mario Cross Rabbids is actually pretty fun though. It was like XCOM. I really enjoyed it. Got it on the Switch. I'm not sure if I'd get the sequel though.
But yeah, it's just like I seem to show there's a bit of a habit too, where I went through my back catalogue, so I played like Deus Ex Human Revolution DLC, which is like, it's not the factory reset or some sort, but it's just like a DLC there.
Yeah.
Also, like went through Vanquished, got the rest of the achievements in Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, amongst others. So I'm just going through them. Then I got like Naruto Storm Generations, which is like a forgettable game because the whole purpose of it is like you get a watered down story, and you get all those characters from like Naruto Storm 1 and 2, which gets all those characters together, and that predates like having so much DLC for the game. Yeah. Now you can get like Naruto Storm Legacy, which contains all the games out there. So I haven't like got it, and it was on the sale once. So I think it's on sale still because of the anime on like Xbox. So yeah,
it's anime month this month. Yeah, I forgot about that. You can get points for doing anime games. Need to get around to doing that. I haven't got around to doing that yet. So, was there anything else we wanted to discuss about 2012? Weird year.
I still got way more.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because there's there's Summer of Arcade where they like released a bunch of games every August.
Yeah, I missed Summer of Arcade. It was such a good program. Wish they brought it back.
Well, this is the first time where Xbox Live Arcade games got like 400 gamer score. Now it's like 1,000 gamer score, and that's been abused so much. It started at 200 gamer score, and now it's like 400 gamer score, and I think that seems more reasonable. So in there's like a sum of Xbox, which if I can bring it up somewhere, there's two games in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
There's a Dust Elysian Tale.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like really good. I really enjoyed it because it's made by one guy, and it's like got some good animations.
I remember that game.
Unfortunately, it didn't didn't get sequels or anything like that. So it's a bit of a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
But it got released on like different platforms like PlayStation 4, and it's just really good because you got like Dust and there's Fidget. I think Fidget is like voiced by Lindsay James, which is like the one who plays Ruby.
Yeah, Lindsay from
Yeah.
uh,
But yeah, according to the list, you also got like Hybrid, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, which is interesting. And there's like a Racketeer, so I'm like, I haven't heard much of it all as far as I remember. So
was Fez in the Summer of Arcade that year, or was that separate? Cause...
it's just what came out that year.
Yeah, because
speaking of which, there's like Quantum Conundrum, which is apparently made by this few of the people who've actually worked on Portal.
Yeah.
It's like Portal, except you switch between different dimensions. So you can like have a mobile planet, then you switch it to the metal planet, cushion planet, and stuff like that. This one's a bit difficult because you have to like keep switching between dimensions in order to solve puzzles, and it's like it's a bit tricky, and it's like it's just like really too hard.
Yeah.
But it came out at the same time. Like I was on the game chat with some other friends, like I don't know, it's a bit like the Dark Souls, where it's with Dave, and it's like playing for the game, and it's like so difficult. And I was saying like Quantum Conundrum is a bit more harder, and then I was like, how long I was what? It's because Dark Souls is like so punishing.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is like really frustrating.
All right.
But at around the same time, I just like introduced to The Witcher, so I played The Witcher 2, which for the first time it comes out on Xbox.
Yeah.
The interface is like a bit iffy and clunky, but the gameplay is just like really interesting, and it's like got some good parts about it. I really like the story, although I haven't got round to like playing The Witcher 3 and stuff like that.
I've got The Witcher 3. I haven't got around to playing it yet. The next gen version is supposed to be out this year, so tempted to get the upgraded version of that and play that.
Yeah. Then there's like a modern I think it was re-releases of like Fighting Fighters, Sonic the Fighters, and Virtua Fighter 2 on the like Xbox Live Arcade, and they came out towards the end of the year. Then there's like Far Cry 3, which I believe I got it for Christmas, and it involves like burning the weed garden, and you have this really fun music playing back in the background. It's like then you just like use a flamethrower, burn all that weed, and it's like, oh wow, it's so satisfying. Not to mention like there's an enemy who's like, oh, it's so what's the definition of insanity? And then you just like go into some like weirdness. Yeah, it's just really unique because you have this gameplay. You go into different outposts and take them over. And I think the gameplay is a bit more simpler. So Far Cry 3 is just like really good.
Yeah, so that's Vars, I think, is the baddie, and the weed burning thing. They've done that in every Far Cry since. Apparently, I've heard that in multiple reviews. They're saying that they're repeating themselves. So, I mean, Far Cry 3 was like the one that broke the mold and came up with a load of things, but it kind of they've copied it ever since, apparently. So, if you played a Far Cry since Far Cry 3, you've probably played pretty much the same game, which is a bit frustrating, apparently.
I would rather like see more Blood Dragon because that
so
one
good.
is the shit.
I love Blood Dragon.
Or should I say, shit?
Yeah. So, did you ever meet Phil Fish from Fez?
What? What's that?
You know the game Fez? Have you ever played it?
Yes, Fez.
Yeah, it was made by this guy called Phil Fish. He had a bit of a breakdown on the. He was really big, internet famous for like a year, and then he had a bit of a breakdown and then disappeared off the face of the planet. I met him briefly in Game City in Nottingham. He seemed like a nice guy, but yeah, he couldn't cope with the fame of being an indie developer that people knew, which is weird. My lighting's just messed up.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but then I haven't heard much from him, so I think he's a bit of a hypocrite.
Yeah.
But never mind about him, because there's plenty more fish in the sea.
Hey.
But anyway, I only played a bit of Fez on like the PlayStation 3, or is it like PlayStation 4, or the Wii, or the Switch? I don't know.
Yeah, it was a good game. I played it on the 360 and the Vita. I played it on both of those. So It's a fun game.
I think we're forgetting like one game that is just like really huge, and it's what definitely got me into this whole franchise.
God.
So I don't know what you're thinking of.
Yeah, what game?
Minecraft on the Xbox 360.
All right, because Minecraft came out like before that, really, but I suppose I didn't count it as a separate game. But yes, it was on the 360 in 2012, which was what got me into Minecraft. So yeah, I did play it on PC before then, but it was the 360 one that I really spent hours and hours and hours on, like 6 o'clock, like till 6 o'clock in the morning, making like random crap that.
Yeah, because I think it's just like I think it was one of the first games where they introduced the 400 gamer score.
Yeah.
Like, I just got into it and it's like really blown away like how much freedom you have. I used to have like the Java test version on the PC and it's like, it's interesting. Then Xbox 360 is when you like check it out and you get a full understanding of what's it like, because before then it's just like you notice so much about the game and how you get on well with it. So yeah, but I just like got into so much stuff with it that they didn't come up with some creative mode in the first place. Then they just added more features like creative mode and stuff like that, and I thought, gosh, this game is like so good. And then you can like do more things with it. So I think it's for this reason I really enjoy playing the Xbox 360 version. Then it's just like changed, and now it's got more features. Tries to catch up with the Java, and it's still doing that. But I certainly like miss like playing the Xbox 360 edition. It was so good. Yeah. Also, it's like one of the biggest games that the Achievement Hunter did. Yeah. But they did that Achievement City. Yeah. And it's like, wow, it's great. So, yeah.
Like when I first started playing Minecraft, it was mainly people my age going, "Man, you gotta try this game out. It's so cool, survival game." And it was like almost like a cool underground game. And now it's like all the kids play it, and it's like, "Oh, you play Minecraft? You what? You 12?" I'm like, "No, I play it because it's a good freaking game." I would say it's I got a top list of my top 10 games of all time. I think it's number 3 or number 4. One of my favorite games ever made. I mean, I love Minecraft. It's such a great game. It's like a masterpiece. I agree with that.
You just remind me, like, I once had like a bunch of kids who just joined in my Minecraft world, so we can get achievement for making a pig fall off the cliff while on the saddle.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like we were talking about my nephews earlier and playing Peppa Pig with them. I'm totally introducing them to Minecraft though, because luckily my sister and my brother-in-law don't know much about Minecraft, so it's like, yes, this is my in, because like basically my sister is like going teaching my nephew Pokemon already, like showing him Pokemon and like going playing Pokemon Go and all this stuff already. So it's like, well, Minecraft is mine. Minecraft is gonna be the thing that I'm a cool uncle for showing him Minecraft, and that's the one I'm gonna be teaching him how to play Minecraft and get him like creeper toys and stuff. You know, that's my game. That's the one I'm gonna be playing with my nephews. I think for sure.
There's also like Trials Evolution.
That's a fun name, yeah.
Yeah, this one came out on the same year too. It's the first sequel to like Trials HD, where you just go around on a bike and go through the obstacles. So it's like, yeah, it's really interesting. You play all those tracks, and then it just gets progressively harder, and it's just like, oh gosh, you have to do precise jumps and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, there's just like huge. Like, I couldn't even like beat the whole game. Yeah. And then this DLC came out, and I thought like, oh, I just can't really catch up with all of it.
It's like,
it's just crazy.
It's almost like a puzzle game as well. You were talking about Achievement Hunter. This was a big game for Achievement Hunter as well. Like Jack Patillo from Achievement Hunter was obsessed with this game. It was.
Yeah. Speaking of that, because I think there is a Summer of Arcade game pack, or is it like the classic pack where Jack's got that skin and use it in Let's Play Minecraft that came with Trials Evolution.
Small, yeah, exactly. So it's small. It's funny that everything comes back to Minecraft. I mean, honestly, if you look at all the transactions that Microsoft's done, I think buying Minecraft is probably their best thing they've done. I think all the companies they bought, 2 billion. That was it 2.5 billion. That feels like a steal now. Like people at the time were like going, really, you paid that much for Minecraft? And now they've just spent like nearly 70 million on bloody Activision. It's like, nah, give me Minecraft. Like Minecraft Legends, I can't wait. That's gonna be a really fun game coming out next year. So we got new exclusives. Well, I'm not sure if it's exclusive or not, but we got a new Minecraft game coming out next year, so that should be fun as well.
I think it's coming out on different platforms like the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Or should I say in 10 years' time, because we're still in 2012. It's in 10 years' time. No, but yeah, Minecraft. I could talk about Minecraft all day. It is one of my favorite games ever. And it's a masterpiece. I don't think it came out in 2012, though, but as you said, the Xbox version did. So I suppose we can count that because we are on an Xbox channel. So yeah, I remember doing that achievement as well. The one with the pig on the saddle. That was considered the hardest achievement, I think. And on the rail achievement, we had to do a long, 500 meter rail in one direction and go, because you needed power rails as well at the time and stuff like that. So that was a pain.
That required so much iron and sticks.
Yeah.
Like you have to mine so much iron, and then you just like get the mine tracking, and it was like quite a huge feat. I managed to build that like a few times before, and it's like, wow, it's crazy. Now those days you just get a YouTube tutorial how to build an iron farm, and you get tons of iron from that.
Yeah.
So it's a bit difficult to set up, but at least you don't have to deal with like collecting iron. And speaking of which, one of the recent additions to the Minecraft is now you get war iron. So if you get the axe that's got Fortune 3 on, you can now like get more iron from iron blocks.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't know that. That's interesting. So have you got any more notes about 2012? Because we haven't gone to the future yet. We need to.
Yeah, I think there was some like good stuff in 2012. Like there's Halo 4, and it was the first time that like Bungie passed over the torch over to 343.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's actually good. Because I kind of find the Halo 4 to be really neat. There's like cool things about the Prometheans and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, it's really good. Enjoy the sound effects and the music. And not everyone's like, it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Not my really.
And the multiplayer is interesting. But I think it's just like tries to mimic the films too much. Like you get some like really bright corridors, try to go for some like lots of special effects, and end up like a bit of a more saturated one.
I mean, Halo 4 was super pretty. It was a very pretty game, I'll give it that. But then it's like the Prometheans, like the I forgot what they're called now. The main baddie Prometheans are like almost invincible.
You mean
the Watchers are they called?
Are they like Watchers? Promethean Knights,
yeah.
Even like and Crawlers.
They're not very well designed when it comes to Halo bad guys. The Covenant are like kind of perfect. They have like a good balance between them, whereas they were kind of broken. And then most of the guns had like low ammo, and it was like I don't know. And the multiplayer was too much like Call of Duty. It was like kills. It was all kill streaks and stuff, and not about gun placements and territory
and ordnance drops.
Yeah.
Like if you get enough like kills and everything, you can call for which weapon you want.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of a bit inventive, but yeah, I can agree with you. It's like a bit too much like Call of Duty.
Yeah, I wasn't fast on it. I still played the shit out of it. I played it for hours and hours and hours. Yeah. But I prefer Halo 3. A moth just flew into my room.
Yeah, there's like the characters of Halo 4 is like iffy.
Yeah.
Like there's Didact, which is probably the most interesting addition of a character, and sadly like overlooked. He's quite literally like Voldemort with some bigger nostrils, but has that sick armor.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's like killed off pretty quickly
in the cutscene.
Then he was just like Captain Dell, that big loud.
Oh,
asshole.
he's annoying. He was annoying. I hated him.
He is quite literally Rimmer from Red Dwarf.
Yeah, you're right. That's spot on. I think if
big smeg head.
good thing,
and also there's another character like I think it was like Sama Palmer, the Spartan.
yeah,
Like she's quite literally annoying and like talks shit.
yeah,
Unfortunately, it's like she should have been like an interesting character, but she was made to be extra and annoying.
yeah.
But then it's just like there's Thomas Lasky, the character in the Halo Infinite, and I thought he was interesting. Glad he's still around in like Halo Infinite, but others is like meh.
Yeah. I feel like the storyline with Cortana and the ending with Cortana was really emotional and all that, and I thought that was really well done. Apart from that one facet of the story, but I felt the Cortana stuff was the best bit, really, of Halo 4. And like building up the characters and making Chief a bit more three-dimensional. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't... Halo 4 is not my favourite Halo game. Wouldn't even be in my top 3 or 4 for sure. I would say all the Bungie games I prefer over Halo 4, I think. There's not really a Bungie game I dislike more than 4.
Well, in my opinion, Halo 5 is like stepped up with the gameplay, but not so much when it comes to like microtransactions and the story's like much worse. There's like Team Osiris, but they couldn't get off like Master Chief and stuff like that, and I think they had some bad design decisions. But Halo 4 is like, oh, try something new, and then they just couldn't get off. Like they still have Covenant in because they feel as if Prometheans are not going to fly off the ground.
Yeah.
Likewise, they got new Promethean weapons, but they're too similar to human weapons. They're like turn like future, and it's like, I mean, come on, like they got to be like have more imagination.
Yeah.
They got to go beyond like knights, watchers, and crawlers, and it's like,
Halo, yeah.
But it was good for the time, and then now it's just like you've got Halo Infinite, and it's like really better, but then Halo Infinite is like not doing pretty well when it comes to, as a live service game. So yeah,
unfortunately, yeah. It wasn't one for us on Halo 4. I was going to say something, I've totally forgotten now what I was going to say. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. So you were saying about microtransactions in Halo 5. We're in 2012. Microtransactions are not a thing. So this is a great time to be alive. Because I hate microtransactions. Yeah. That was like probably the best thing about 2012 was I think horse armor in Oblivion was like the first real big sign of like microtransactions, but people kind of all ganged up said that's a stupid idea. Why are you doing horse armor? And now it's been like, and now everyone, now we got to the stage where it's like, ooh, horse armor, sign me up.
Not only that, you get like blue or red coatings for your weapons for a price.
Yeah. Or is it?
It's fucking blue! And there's fucking red!
Yeah,
and you see them in like Halo Infinite, you can tell that this game is already failing already. Gosh.
I think that was...
But at least the gold armor in Halo Infinite is good. Yeah. I want to spend the money on that. But yeah, we're all bad at this, to be honest.
I think that was like Angry Joe said, just like there's like a gun in Valorant, there's blue, and it's like $4,000. It's like, $4,000 for blue! For fucking blue! It's like, yep, that's what we've got to. I'm like, oh my god, I hate it. I hate it so much. Makes me really mad. Anything else in 2012 we want to discuss before we go back to the future?
Can we stay in 2012 and like try to do it again with 10 years time? Because that way I can catch up with books, get more books, and don't have to grow old. But since we travel back in time, I'm like almost 35, and now I'm just like, well, there's got to be something better to deal with it. I thought,
I mean, are we going to be the same age? We've travelled back to 2012, but are we still 33? Am I going to be 23 now? If we go back, if I go back in time and like be 23 again, I would love that because university was the best years of my life, so I would totally do it again.
But when I travel back to like 2012, I'll be like up to my sister's wedding, except her husband is actually the one who cheated, and somehow she like split off, divorced him. So, and there's like other things happening in 2012.
Maybe
like,
not then.
I mean, I also like met my grandfather for the last time before he died. Oof. So it's particularly sad, but yeah.
That's a bit of a downer.
I don't know what really happened for you in like 2012 apart from Let's Play.
University. That was pretty much it. I was in uni, had my own flat. I had friends and a bit of a social life, whereas now I don't really have either. I love you. I love my uni years were like the best years of my life. I would never. When people go, I regret going to uni. I'm like, never regretted it at all. Loved it. Loved every second of it. It was so good. Yeah.
I have fond memories of in Newport University. Even though it's like the course is not so much, it's just like the life associated with it.
Exactly.
It's like really good.
That's why I agree.
Really nice to go for Wales. If you compare it, and if I were to compare it to like Birmingham, visiting the Bull Ring, which is within walking distance, is brilliant.
Yeah.
And there's also, how do I put it? There's also like the Falmouth Launchpad where they did the Masters in. You're pretty much like in the university space, and pretty much is what you get when you just try to work in the office setting. So out of all these, it's just like, yeah, those are. I think the Newport really is like really good, and I was kind of hoping I can get a games job after it. Guess what? Like I didn't even like get into it. Like I applied for work experiences, working in a cancel for like 2 weeks, and didn't even like put off the ground. Even working in the animation studio, and to work in Unity. And guess what? Like after all these, it's just like couldn't even get a very decent, really good job that benefits my skills. So now I'm just like back here doing podcasts with no sign of life.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I have a job at the moment, but it's not very good, and it's not really to do with video games, so I'm in the same boat, really. I wish my qualifications meant more, but I still enjoyed university immensely. I mean, we've been talking for about an hour. Should we go to the future quickly? Or do a quick...
Yes.
Quick
Let's see if we can survive 2032.
I'm changing. Oh, we're in 2032. The year is 2032, and
looks a bit the same, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a dystopian, but yes, we are in a dystopia.
And I think I lost some of my family members too.
Yikes!
I can't really count, and also it's just like, I can't really see if I publish any books. But 2032 is just a bit more bleak.
It is a little
like,
bleak.
There's more trans people, and now you have like cyber augmentations. But apart from that, it's just like fascism in some areas. And I think Scotland may have left the UK, so I don't know.
Oh man, are we the Welsh stuck with the English? Don't say that. No. I don't want to be stuck with the Tories. The Tory.
Too bad.
The Tory party is
Cornwall because
the Tory party is still in charge, and somehow Boris Johnson's going back in charge again, even though he's just left. He's just come back somehow.
And now it's likely that the candidates leading up to replace him are now becoming more transphobic.
Yeah.
Like you have like climate change, the economy and the poverty, and all they're doing at the moment with the leadership race is like talking hate towards like trans people and dealing with more culture wars bullshit. And it's like, what's going on? Even Penny Mordaunt is like pro-trans. It's now pretending to be the most vile transphobe ever, and it's like this is just a bit fucked up.
It's
really.
very fucked up.
Can we just discuss this whole thing, because I don't want to look at 2032 for an extra 30 minutes.
Well, I was hoping we could talk about the video game side of 2032, not this.
Yeah.
So
let's get through this. 2032 is already looking like really bad.
So I was going to do some predictions for what I think the world's going to, gaming wise, is going to be like in 10 years' time. So what I think is the big, maybe dystopian one, seeing how you feel about this one, when it comes to consoles, is I feel that the PlayStation or Nintendo will be part of a mega corporation, and they're going to be taken over by either Amazon, Disney, or Elon Musk or something. So one of these mega companies with billions of dollars are going to buy the PlayStation or the Nintendo. I think that's happening at some point in the
I
next
think
10
it's
years.
just. I think in my predictions list that Microsoft ends up buying many businesses, and they turn into mega corporation because they've been buying businesses like Activision and Bethesda, and I think they're not going to stop at like getting more businesses.
Yeah.
Because they're being like, say for even Nintendo, they may end up like having to buy them in the end.
Maybe. I feel like what's going to happen, because like Amazon tried to do their Prime stuff, and Google tried to do Stadia, neither of them really worked, and Apple want to get involved, and I feel like games is such a big market. I do feel like PlayStation and Nintendo are prime for one of those big companies to try and take on Xbox and try and break into the market. They've tried their own things, it hasn't worked. It's like, let's just buy a ready-made company that's already doing well. I mean, that's bleak. I'm not looking forward to the Amazon PlayStation 7 and the Prime Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
But I have a bad feeling.
Well,
Or Prime and Amazon are the same thing. The Apple Switch too.
I was thinking like in that time that Sony's not going to turn into a mega corporation, because I think if you think about it, they go on like the PlayStation, but it's not like a huge household name anymore, so I don't know what's up with it.
I feel,
but speaking of which, they will just end up being a Hollywood game studio. Like they do AAA games, like celebrity endorsements, and like have huge special effects, like as if they're making movies.
Yeah.
They're no longer the Japanese company because of how much they're trying to migrate from like Japan over to America as their main headquarters, and now they've just fully established themselves as an American company, not like a Japanese games company anymore.
And that's what makes me think that Apple or Amazon or trying to think of other big ones. Apple, Amazon are the big two, I guess. I feel like one of those are going to buy Sony and because just so they can have the PlayStation wing under their brand. It might not even change at all. It might just be exactly the same. But I feel like there's so much money in it. PlayStation makes so much money that I feel like these big companies are bound to be wanting to get involved. I think that's my bleak outlook of what I think the future's going to hold with 10 years. I also think
I still think like Sony and Nintendo are still going to be around for long.
Yeah.
But for Nintendo, I think they're just. So I think they most likely be like folded into another company.
Yeah.
And I would imagine Microsoft would buy them. Otherwise, it's just like Sony, strictly the games company, whereas Microsoft is more like an entertainment company.
Yeah.
So they end up like being two distinct companies. So that's what I feel.
Or Tencent's going to buy everyone. I forgot about Tencent. They're already buying everyone as it is. So.
Oh gosh.
Or Epic.
And that's one of the biggest fears, is that China's economy is so bursting that like companies like Tencent will end up like buying more companies.
Yeah.
And then someone where they spread their China influence and like culture and stuff like that. Because at the moment, like they're anti-LGBT and somehow like they have like communist feelings of it. But then, ironically, some parts of their country is like also capitalist as well. But they've been like really stingy about like surveillance and privacy, and it just seems like it's a bit more of a dystopia. So it's a bit of a worry that they would end up being like a huge country and like taking more parts of the world.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about Russia though, and I don't know about America, whether they just like split into 5 states like what John Titor has predicted. I feel this is like the likely outcome, but just really crossing my fingers and hope like China doesn't like take more parts of the world.
Yeah.
Because I know the UK is like getting like more transphobic, and we're hoping to beat that. But it's more worrying when you have like other countries that are like anti-LGBT and somehow to try to erode it on our culture. So that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a bit bleak, isn't it? I always feel like we should be getting more more aware of other people and more forward thinking. Yet somehow we seem to be going backwards. It's really weird. With the amount of internet and knowledge we have at our fingertips, you'd think we'd be more accepted of other people, but for some reason it seems to be going backwards. So okay, so back to gaming stuff. I think Sarah Bond's going to become president of Xbox at some point, or take over Phil Spencer's job anyway. She's like basically she's almost become a figurehead in her own right. So I feel like she's next in line to be the president of Xbox. Not super fascinating, but I just thought it'd be interesting to mention. We'll probably see Fallout 5 by this point. Maybe even in real life we'll see a bit of a Fallout 5 for real.
They still have to do with like Starfield. Yeah. I'm not saying Starlink this time, okay?
Yeah, yeah. So we've got Starfield at the moment. So hopefully that comes out next year.
And there's like Elder Scrolls 6. And those 2 games are coming.
Yeah.
So I think Fallout 5 will definitely come out about 2032.
Yeah, that's about right. Because they haven't even started development really of Elder Scrolls, the next Elder Scrolls. But they said the next game after Elder Scrolls will be Fallout. So we will see Fallout 5 after Elder Scrolls is done. And Elder Scrolls hasn't even started being developed yet. So I imagine we'll probably see Elder Scrolls in about 2030, 2029. And then Fallout 5 we'll probably see 2032, which is depressing.
Nah, 2035.
Yeah, probably. You know what I like. Just keep dragging it out. And then my other big prediction when it comes to consoles is, well, it's kind of obvious. In 10 years' time, we'll probably be on the new generation of consoles, I would imagine. If we keep to the same schedule, I think
games consoles will be limited to streaming.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say.
So physical discs are no longer. Instead of the games consoles will be like get really small in size or get bigger, because whether they would incorporate more of a ray tracing technology. Because at the moment it's a bit rudimentary and needs to be worked on to become a more fully fledged technology. But even so, it's like you get PCs and you get game consoles, and it's likely to run like the Super Nintendo because of like how fast the technology is, and now you have better reading speeds. So now it's like you have smaller builds with no loading times at all. Like you get Xbox Series X, which you have a storage drive that like has a much better reading time, and it's like much quicker to load games. Now it's just like technology gets so good that it now loads games, and you don't even have to wait for them to load, which is like fantastic.
So,
but as for the physical discs, now you have to either get them on as digital, or you get them through streaming, and that's where they'll be focusing on. So there's no longer any like game stores like that. There's no games you can buy off the shelf. Now it's just like you have to buy the games console and you have to use internet. Otherwise it's just like just buy the games console, and if you don't have internet, then tough. Every home must have internet, or else you won't be able to get anything. And that's what it's pushing for 2032.
Yeah. So
apart from that, you get more electric cars. So
I was going to say, that's pretty much what I was going to say. So I feel like the next Xbox, whatever it's going to be called, my guess was the Xbox 8, because because the next PlayStation's going to be the PS7. They can skip ahead of PlayStation and have one higher number. And if you turn the 8 to its side, it's infinite, or like multiple infinite possibilities and all this shit. So it could be the Xbox Infinite or the Xbox 8. That's a guess. It's not probably the way off. But what I wrote down here is that they'll probably have one big console like they have now, which is probably discless. Have a cloud device like an Amazon stick, and maybe some kind of like portable device, like a handheld device, and they'll all release at the same time. Most of it will be cloud stream based, but there will be a console for the hardcore people like us who want a physical console still, but it won't be like, it'll probably be, as you said, mainly streaming. I think that's what the future is, sadly.
Speaking of which, I think Flight Simulator will be one game where it's no longer like an actual game. You just like go to the internet, visit a website, or get an app, and you just have this whole game that runs completely off the internet. Because the Flight Simulator on Xbox is like a huge download.
Yeah.
And you still have to stream the maps and everything like that. So I was thinking like it'll be like Google Earth, except like it's like Microsoft Flight Simulator that you have to completely stream.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way that Microsoft's going to be heading for, because it's like it's too much of a huge game.
Yeah.
Like, unless you have a PC with a massive storage drive, you're not going to be able to get all of it like installed like offline. You just have to like stream and play it. And I think that's the same feeling like when it comes to like MMOs or like Halo, and like you have to completely stream it without any loading times.
Yeah, and they're going to be using, because they still use Xboxes as like to stream stuff. They have the Xboxes built into the servers, so I do think there is going to be some kind of Xbox, like the new Xbox, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's just going to be mainly streaming, like you said. There'll probably be the Amazon stick will be the main source of Xbox going forward, and the controller will probably be the same again. Because why fix something that's not broken? Because the controller is bloody awesome.
Just like the DualShock 3 for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, I love my Xbox control, so I'm not not bothered. Anything else? I've tried to.
Businesses stick to a more flexible subscription service. Yeah. You know, the businesses like you used to buy apps, and now they expect you to sign up for subscriptions. Like, there's a few apps I use, and you expect me to like pay monthly or yearly in order to use it, much like the Adobe products.
Yeah.
Now it's just like in that futures where businesses now have like a flexible subscription service. Like now you can like choose what you want and have what's on it. It's a bit like Amazon, where you already like pay for Amazon Prime and you get all the stuff you need, except like for Audible you have to pay extra for it. If you want extra channels to have more content on the Prime Video, you pay for those. And then you have, if you want books, you have to sign up for like unlimited Kindle library. I feel the businesses are like having subscription services where you pay extra to have more bits on it. So I think like mega corporations will probably have services where you sign up for it and you pay what you want to stream or what to download, and that's how I feel that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, that's what Game Pass is already, isn't it? That's like Xbox are kind of ahead of the curve with that already when it comes to consoles. So I feel like I should ask you a couple of questions and see what you think, if they'd be yes or no, what you think of the outcomes. So, do you think the Xbox will be buying Netflix? Because that's a rumor that's been going around.
No. Not unless you want Dave Chappelle like have his own games on the Xbox.
Oh God. I was thinking more Stranger Things, which is a lot more likable than Dave Chappelle.
But that show is about to enter season 5, and by the time we reach 2032, they will be finished.
This is true.
Instead, we'll be waiting like Arcane to come out. Like, they already cut down on a lot of like subscription services.
Yeah.
Sorry, the animation projects. So if they were to cancel Arcane, they will lose most of their user base.
Right. Okay. So you don't think Xbox are going to buy Netflix? Okay. So do you think the Xbox will buy Sega?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I don't know why they haven't bought Sega. It makes so much sense, right?
Well, I think I would explain. Sega and Atlas, I don't know which way they went, but they went into the partnership. So Atlas is responsible for like getting physical releases out in the Western markets.
Yeah.
Because Sega is particularly big in Japan.
Yeah.
Not so much with the Western sides. And they said they were focusing on like mobile games. But if you think about it, ever since the Xbox came out, Sega's been working more with Microsoft, and they got their games over there. And there's been rumors about like Microsoft likely to use Sega name on their Xboxes and stuff like that. And it just seems like Sega is like becoming more friendly with Microsoft, like some kind of bedfellow.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking like, yeah, I think Microsoft would most likely buy Sega and have Sonic as a mascot. I could definitely see that happening, because in the moment Sega is like a bit of a struggle war. Like, you used to like have so much good stuff at the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
Now it's just like the games company that you would rather like see the end of, because I think they're not doing so well on the business side of things.
Yeah.
So I would definitely see like Microsoft buying Sega in the future.
I mean, I feel like it's a no-brainer to me, as you said. Like it would, because like Xbox One again to Japan, that's a big thing, as you said. Using Sega as a name to be in Japan and get more Japanese games, and like have more. They said about they want more kid-friendly stuff. Like you'd have all the Sonic games ever, like all like in Game Pass, and you'd have all these JRPGs. Just like because Xbox at the moment is like the king of Western RPGs and shooters. We got Western RPGs, we got shooters. We're covered for that. We don't need any more of that. We need some JRPGs. We need some other stuff as well. Now we need fighters, maybe some other things. Bring some stuff over from Sega. I think Sega seems like the best fit, and they also got the Super game that they've been working on as well, which is a big project. The Sega and Xbox are working together on.
Hence, that Microsoft is turning into the mega corporation because they're going to buy more businesses like Sega.
I mean, they already are.
However, once they buy Sega, they would I would imagine they would have to do the very first thing after that buyout. Want to guess what it is?
No, go ahead.
Microsoft Giga Drive. It's like the Mega Drive. Only it's the return of the former glory, where it's a games console that you can play any game on. Because Mega Drives are great for it.
The Sega Xbox. I don't know.
No, Microsoft Giga Drive.
Okay.
Have the controllers with 3 buttons. Easy.
Okay, so do you think we are ever going to see an Xbox handheld?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. It makes sense, right?
I mean, I think it's just as Microsoft Mobile, which didn't fly off the ground and stopped doing it, and now like they keep going to Android, but now they're just doing like Surface Pro and those sort of things. Like now you get like double or foldable screens for it. But I think when it comes to Xbox, I mean, there's Steam Deck from Steam, and they got as far as like doing the streaming only from the website unless you put Windows on it. So I think Microsoft will probably catch that up by releasing an Xbox handheld that has a full access to Xbox Game Pass library. I think that's how they're going to be doing it.
I hope so. I really hope so. Or they might be super lazy and just have a basic tablet with controllers on the side of it and just stream everything. But I would prefer a native handheld, to be honest, than the streaming handheld. But you never know. I feel like it makes too much sense when you want to have everyone playing everywhere. Trying to get into the handheld market would help with that. But I don't know. Maybe. Do you think? So I'm trying to think of other quick questions about 2023. Do you think that 343 will still be in charge of Halo as a franchise?
No.
Do you think?
And I can explain that. In my predictions, that I don't know how 343 Industries is getting on or whether they will be replaced, but there's an endless saga, and I think there's going to be 1 or 2 or even 3 games. Well, I mean, it's going to be 2 more games as far as it goes, because there's like Halo 4, Halo 5, and there's like Halo Infinite, and that's like 3 games. But I know they spent some time to get the Master Chief Collection, and they got the full collection. So I'm thinking like they'll probably add Halo 5 to the Master Chief Collection next. They'll probably do that. I'm not sure. But what's going to happen is that the end of Saga, there's going to be like a few more games. I don't know how they do it. Like they add DLC to Halo Infinite to continue the story, or they release separate games. But they will get to reach the end of the Endless Saga, and they will get to do the soft reboot of the franchise. I know the Halo Infinite is like trying to be the soft reboot and try to bring back so much things they have with Combat Evolved. But once they're done with the Endless Saga, they go to the soft reboot, start everything again, probably going into the multiverse or not, and you have like Master Chief and Cortana, possibly with different voice actors.
Oof.
And 343 Industries are more likely to turn out for the worst, and they probably like leave this whole franchise and then you leave it to another developer.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.
I mean, I'm hoping Halo's still going to be relevant in 10 years' time. That's another thing I was going to say. So, do we know? Is it going to still be relevant in 10 years' time? I hope so.
Yeah, I think they will definitely be most relevant because Halo's already been out for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And when Sonic was around for like 20 years, it's like they got this like really bad game after 15 years, and once they reached about 20 years, like, hang a minute, I think they did like Sonic Generations then, but then Sonic's not so big. But Halo's a much bigger franchise, and they're still going on. So I think like they will continue on for 10 more years, and they will probably release more games.
Yeah.
But I think they're just trying to go for this expanded world. But speaking of which, you said about like Fallout 5 coming out in 2032.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Bethesda will be creating an ultimate game of the world that is 10 times bigger than Skyrim. Wherever this Elder Scrolls 6 that's got like all the nations of the huge map, which is like you have Cyrodiil and Skyrim and everything all combined into one world.
Yeah.
Or you have Fallout 5, that you have a massive map and you can go anywhere.
America. It's the whole of America. America.
Yeah.
Fallout America. Do you think we're going to see a new Fallout game before Fallout 5? Like a new Vegas 2? Like by another developer?
I don't know. I doubt it, because the thing is, I think that Obsidian is the one who did Fallout New Vegas, right?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Because they're doing like different IPs, so I doubt they would have another developer making a new Vegas or stuff like that.
That's true. I mean, in XL could do it because they did Fallout before, the originals. They do Wasteland now. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I mean, Outland. You got Outer Worlds. You've got Avowed by Obsidian, and then they've got Grounded as well. So that's like.
Yeah.
They are a bit busy at the moment, so I can kind of agree with that.
And also, I got another prediction that the companies, the developers that Microsoft buys, and they have like separate entities like Bethesda, and you have developers of names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem to
no response.
You seem to have frozen. I'm still here.
Well, while the Potato Chief's like offline,
I'm right here. I'm still here.
There's like companies that the companies that Microsoft will buy, all of them will turn into like Xbox Game Studios, and they don't have any names attached. So.
Yeah, I'm still here. I don't know why you're frozen. Okay.
Oh, you probably go for the whole intermission, but anyway, you probably like replace it with a Ruby clip with them screaming.
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, let's start again. So the companies that Microsoft buys will form into Xbox Studios without any names attached. So if you think of like Eidos and there's like Eidos Montreal and stuff like that, they buy any companies like Activision and they turn them into Xbox Game Studios, and they don't have any names attached. So that way, any game they make will be developed by Xbox Game Studios, and it will go from a more integrated network. So you don't have to like attach it to a single developer, for instance.
Yeah,
I think that way they just make it the biggest game studio in the world.
That's possible. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's still weird to me that the E3 is still known as Xbox and Bethesda showcase. Like, are they gonna do Xbox, Bethesda, and Activision and Blizzard next year? I don't think they will. Like, they gotta just change it back to Xbox, surely. Like, I know they're all over.
That's what will happen before 2032.
For sure, definitely. More integration.
Yeah.
Do you think
Anyway, Sorry?
I was going to say, do you think there's any more companies that they will buy before 2032? Who said Sega?
No, I think I've just moved on from that, so I don't know if you've got any more gaming predictions.
Probably I can't really think of anything now. I think Sega joining Microsoft. Platinum
That one.
Platinum might join Microsoft. They want to be bought by. They want to be bought by Microsoft, and Microsoft are like, oh, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, they're not Platinum.
I thought they're more like I think they're more like Nintendo's bed cousin or some sort.
Yeah, well, apparently they're having a bit of trouble with their finances, and they really want to get bought by someone, and they keep going, Microsoft, buy us, please. We want to be bought. So I'm like, okay.
Well, they did try to do their Xbox exclusive known as Scalebound,
Yeah.
and see how that went.
Exactly. That's why it's a bit. I don't know if it'll happen, but maybe. I mean, if they want to still get a Japanese developer, that's a good one. They should try and get. I feel like they should try and get NetherRealm and try and get more combat exclusive to the Xbox. I think that would be pretty sweet.
Well, they did the live service game called Babylon's Fall.
Yeah.
And that's a PlayStation exclusive. But this one is not doing very well either, so it just means that they're just going to end up struggling.
Oh, yeah.
So I hope they get like Microsoft to buy them, because I think they did some like really good hack and slash games, like Metal Gear Rising is like really huge,
yeah.
And but then I think it's just like hopefully they would get bought out by Microsoft. So yeah, it's just pretty much like that.
Fingers crossed. Bayonetta, Scalebound, Wonderful 101,
I think
Astral Chain, it does good stuff.
I think they're most likely to be doing different IPs, because I think Bayonetta 3, as far as I know, could be like the end of the trilogy, but I don't know.
And I think it's half owned by Nintendo, half owned by Sega as well, so it's like, ooh, one of those as well.
Anyway, I got more predictions since you're running out.
Yeah, sure.
And I think this time it goes outside of gaming and goes into more technology.
Ooh, okay.
So my prediction is for 2032, there will be more work on robotics, and they'll probably be bringing out cybernetic augmentations.
All right.
Because by about 2032, it's just like we're already gone past like 2027, where Deus Ex Human Revolution takes place, and there's cybernetic augmentations.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I think it's more likely that we could see more cybernetic augmentations. But once they introduce that, there will be more of it with more sustainable technology. But I don't think they will have it through the NHS. You probably like get through the private clinic.
Yeah.
But as for the robotics, like there's so much work, and now you have automated robots. There will be so much robots like doing jobs and stuff like that, that newspapers will move on and be dogpiling on things like robots taking our jobs, or robotics like I think they're most worried about robots taking the other people's jobs. But now it's just like because of the robots and the AI, it's now like there's going to be more need for programmers. They're going to encourage more people to do programming, and they'll be focusing on people who can do things that robots can't do. It's just like for things like McDonald's, for instance, they have more automated machines. Like in McDonald's, like you used to do drinks and you press buttons to do that.
Yeah.
Now you just have like machines where you just put the cup of drink, goes through, puts all the drinks down, and you don't even have to press buttons. So it's like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So I think this is what they're moving towards. Speaking of which, there's robotics. There's like robots that serve as assistants. Like there's one in Falmouth where they have a life. I think there used to be a robot that has like LCD screens for eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I did try to apply for the job there like 10 years ago. But now today, it's like you have a more real face, and now it's just looks more like an actual person. So I think we expect to see like robotic assistants soon. I know I've been like dribbling over it, but it's also like the AI like takes over more. Like now you have like DALL-E that has user-generated AI images. You have deep fakes where you have like voice and faces like plastered over videos, and it's doing much better than the Hollywood studios. So I think like AI takes over more, and they now like tailor entertainment to your needs. So there's no need to develop any more games, because now you have AI like creating games for you.
Right. Okay. Interesting. That would be interesting. Now, Are you sure we're not going to get Skynet and all the robots are just going to take over and destroy us?
I mean, it's possible.
The Xbox,
but I think it's more likely that you have more people who are working as programmers, hackers, and stuff like that. There will be like more in tune with computers than like them working in like retail services. You have more people working from home, so they will be going for more jobs that doesn't require people to be at a specific place. And now there's going to be so much work on the robotics that a lot of this stuff outside is more automated, and now you have like deliveries happening more often.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, delivery.
If you think about it, more and more shops are being turned into flats, and it's just what's happened.
Yeah, unless people are going out less because of COVID and stuff like that. Yeah, I can see that. Totally see that.
We also have like, the movie Surrogates, where we have like robotic bodies so we can control from the distance.
Yeah.
We see ourselves like we get more integrated with computers. I think the people like saying about biochips and stuff like that, so they're not likely to like have that. But instead they use like computers, like they may have virtual reality headsets or stuff like that. But they may like use more robots. They have robot avatars.
Yeah.
Like there's a project where at the moment someone's I think it was like a trans engineer who's like making a project where they're making a robotic avatar that you can use a VR headset, so you can like control a robot in like real life.
Yeah.
Also, is that our identities will be more fluid, so it's not like binary like male, female, or stuff like that. You can just be anything you want to be. So it's just like, it's not the case of us like having to obey stuff like following up like biology or stuff like that. Instead, we get like have changed so much that we can be anyone we want to be or stuff like that. That sort of stuff.
Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say about that. I mean, that's the future that we've been predicting. I feel like we predict this stuff and then it doesn't like flying cars we've been predicting for like 20, 30 years and it still hasn't happened and stuff like that. But that would be cool to to have a robot avatar.
So what you're hoping to see in like 2032, like it can be anything, not just games and stuff like that, but what do you hope to see in like 2032?
I don't know really.
Same.
Honestly, less poverty, world peace. Groovy, man.
Well, I think that's what's said about like 20 years ago.
So, yeah,
or 10 years ago.
We've seen that for decades. Yeah, it'll happen eventually.
But for me, I just hope the cybernetics will come sooner, and it will enhance our lives.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So some people, like older and richer ones, they would have to campaign that to stop that from happening, because they feel the cybernetics, robotics, and stuff like that, and AI, they just feel like they just take away what they can do in life. And I did say the robots taking over their jobs. They just feel like with so much of that stuff and robots taking over the world, they feel that it should be stopped at all times, and yet it just distracts from the other hate towards like LGBT groups, the immigrants, and poorer people, because these are the things that newspapers target.
Yeah.
But once we get the cybernetics and robots in, they become a huge center of like some kind of dartboard for like the mainstream media and even like richer people as well, because they obviously want to make sure they want to keep to the default culture and try to protect that.
Oh, yeah.
But because of the technology and the amount of progression happening, it's just like we'll most likely see anything that will distract them and gives us some chance to become more like, be able to have more freedom of our identities, our sexuality, and even like have better rights as human beings. But the only thing is, it's like it's tricky to find jobs, and we were expected to do like different fields. But for us in that generation, is that because we're used to the different kind of jobs, we're most likely become a much bigger of the lost generation, because we're expected to like have skills for like retail or work in the office, but now all of it is about to change. Like now it's just like we are better off working from home, or even like do different kinds of jobs, because a lot of those jobs, like working in factories and stuff like that, will be taken over by robots, AI, and stuff like that. Sorry, I just like beating the dead horse here, but it's the way I see it happening. Apart from that, there's going to be like increased global warming, like 40 degrees. I was told by my parents that it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Nope.
So Britain might likely to change. Like there's going to be better cooling solutions.
I hope so. Bloody hell, it's so hot.
better systems when people like have like, how do I put it? There's more systems to help out people for disadvantaged backgrounds and being able to like enhance people's lives. And I would imagine some of the countries would change because of a war.
Yeah.
Like, we could hope that Russia might actually fall because of their invasion of Ukraine. That, or it's just like becomes a standstill because in the moment they just like burning up so many units attacking Ukraine.
Yeah.
So probably around Eastern Europe it could change. I don't know. But yeah.
No, that's interesting, like politically and all that. I was going to say also, it's a bit weird, but I would also like the idea of having my memories like backed up into like a hard drive or something, and being able to live through an AI, being part of the cloud. I'll be like the Xbox cloud. You'll just be playing your Xbox. I'll be like, hi, it's just pop up on your Xbox. Hi, Alice, what are you up to? No, but I was just saying, like,
we could even see the return of Kinect.
Oh no. Oh no, no, no! But yeah, seriously, the idea of being having my memories backed up, that's always been something that's always interested me as a thing, or like, you know, because I feel when people say about immortality and living forever, I don't think that's like physically possible, but I think being like having your thoughts and your feelings and your brain, like basically your brain being uploaded into a computer is more of a possibility to live. That's the closest you're going to get to being immortal, which I don't know if I want to be immortal, to be honest, but I'm just saying that if if we're going sci-fi with it.
If you have any thoughts about immortality, ask Salem from Ruby, because she has immortality and is cursed with it, and it's like, oh, I don't want to be living for like thousands more years with this shit.
Or Logan from like Wolverine, Logan. Oh, he's lived in thousands of years and seen all his friends die and family die. Like, ugh. Good fun.
And then it's just like get really ridiculous, like in the comics where Wolverine gets regenerated from a single drop of blood.
Yeah, it's silly. Trying to think, yeah. I mean, that is a Voldemort's trying to become immortal. Immortality, is it a thing you want? Not really. I don't think I want to be immortal. No. Life's, yeah. But I've always been, as I said, I've always been intrigued by that. And I've always liked the idea that, because I've got a YouTube channel with like thousands of videos on it, that someone could take my voice and like completely make an AI that's me out of I create the next Cortana.
You could be talking to cats and whales.
I could be the next Cortana. It's like, hi, Master Chief, how can I help?
Imagine a naked potato chief.
Oh, don't do that.
Blue, like talking to Master Chief.
Oh. On that bombshell, I think we should probably wrap up the episode.
Get out of 2032 and go back in time. And you think you will be heading to next?
Peppa Pig World. back to.
No.
Sorry. Yeah.
And you're not meeting Boris Johnson.
God, I hope not.
Instead, we're going back to year 1992. Sonic 2 is coming out in November, and there's going to be more games for the Super Nintendo. So hope you enjoy 1992 because that's where you'll be stuck on for another 30 years.
Okay. Well, what? I was like, we planned the 10 years either way. Where's 92 come from?
Well, it's 30 years ago.
I suppose so. Yeah. 89, the year I was born. We'll just keep going back. Back inside.
Well, I hope you enjoy Petit Fou and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be enjoying 1992 with my Mega Drive.
Nice.
Plus, VHS tapes. And even, like, McDonald's by going up country. Because there's none in, like, Cornwall, I imagine. I don't know. Just close was the one that's
so random.
But 1992's worth it.
Yeah, so we've been going for 2 hours, so I think we probably should wrap it up, I think. Yeah, I think this is a fun episode. Is there anything else you want to say before we end the episode?
Well, blast processing.
Sega, was Xbox Giga Drive. Make it happen. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, 2, 3, later. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow me on Twitter @PotatoChief or on YouTube @PotatoChief, or follow us on all podcast services. Thank you for listening.